Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2020. The album, Dad. AF. Rock on, gold dust woman. Okay, let's get into this video. Today we're going to talk about Jeffree Star Cosmetics, Jeffree Star, some statements that he has come out and made, the fact that he fired an employee over mistakes with the mystery boxes, and his addressing all of this, and people's issues still with their shipping of their Shane Dawson merch through Killer Merch, which is Jeffree Star's business. So I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about this ambiguously. This has been talked about all over the internet. So I'm just going to kind of talk about these things. Anything that I say in this video, I am just getting off of the internet and reading what you guys have to say about it. Now, I will tell you in regards to the deluxe mystery boxes. So this was the issue, okay? Jeffree Star, you know, he sold these mystery boxes on Black Friday, and all of these people around Black Friday, I think, you know, which was the anniversary of Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and all of these people were saying that in their deluxe box, I think there were 1,000 orders that were not filled, and they didn't get their peppermint highlighter in it, okay? So all these people on Twitter and everywhere, and I've already addressed this in a video, were saying we didn't get, you know, I ordered it for this. This is why I ordered it, and it didn't come in the box. So Jeffree Star, he got up on Twitter and he addressed this and he said, "Hey Star family," here I'll put it up right here, let me screenshot this. "Hey Star family, it's come to our attention that there was an error in mystery box production. Sadly, about 1,000 units were made without the Peppermint Frost palette. I'm issuing full refunds for this mistake, and the person responsible has sadly been let go." And then underneath here, people are saying things, and then somebody says, "What about refunds for the people who have been waiting for their Black Friday shipments and still haven't received anything, and it's Christmas Eve?" Somebody else said, "It's a sign that you should re-release the Peppermint Frost palette so that people can get it." And then somebody else said underneath here, this: "People were mad when he asked about it, but we definitely need it." And then somebody else said, "I don't understand why people were all mad about it. I think that especially after so many boxes not having it, that he needs to re-release it." Well, I mean, obviously for the 1,000 people that didn't get it. So then somebody else went on here and said, hold on a second, they addressed that they said that he got a lot of comments from people saying that he should off himself over this. Now, what's interesting to me, okay, is that I went into that thread when I made that video, and I really couldn't find any comments from anybody saying, and I even had somebody fact check it for me, and they're like, "I see maybe kind of something alluding to that, but like maybe one comment and all this like ton of threads." So I don't know where Jeffree Star got those. I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm not saying that that's untrue, but I don't know where those comments were that people were telling him to off himself as a result of him wanting to come out with the peppermint highlighter. And if they did, that's extreme. Let's just be for real. But I could not find evidence of that. So I don't know where that is at. And he did come out and claim that that's what had happened. He said that in a tweet. Somebody else said, "Oof, Jeffree, I'm so sad because of these non-caring employees. They hurt your business and your customers. I'm so sad. For 2020, I wish for trustworthiness." Somebody else said, "It doesn't mean they didn't care. It means they made a mistake." Someone else said, "This is a huge mistake. If they cared enough, this wouldn't have happened." Now, what's interesting to me about this, and I am going to say this in the video, just my opinion, this is just my opinion, okay? That, you know, Jeffree Star could have put, this was Christmas Eve, okay? This was Christmas Eve, and a lot of people are criticizing Jeffree Star for letting somebody go on Christmas Eve, even though it's supposedly, you know, their fault. Now, he came out on Snapchat and Instagram and he did a story and he talked about it, and people are saying that he alluded to the fact that 1,000 of these peppermint highlighters were stolen. Supposedly, allegedly, that could be how they are being sold on eBay and other places like that. I don't know. But he kind of like alleged, he didn't allege that, he kind of alluded to the fact that, you know, like that is what happened and that he didn't like, you know, look into this person's background well enough and all that kind of stuff. Well, I feel two ways about this, okay? Number one, I think that, you know, when you have a business that is as small as 100 employees and you've just hired 100 more or whatever he said, you're talking about an organization that has 200 employees, okay? Now, you're sending out these deluxe, this is just my opinion, okay? You're sending out these deluxe mystery boxes, and there is a person at the very end that checks every deluxe mystery box, okay, to make sure that all items are in there, okay? Much like the person at the window at McDonald's, they go through there and they make sure, and then when you don't get your fries and you're real upset about it, you go back through and you say, "I didn't get my fries," right? So there has to be somebody at the end, right, that would be checking all of these boxes. I mean, I'm just assuming that's the case, right? That if you're talking about a factory and you're talking about packing these boxes, and as they go and you put the little card on top of it or whatever, that when it gets to the end of the tissue paper, somebody puts the tissue paper, somebody puts the straws, somebody puts all this kind of stuff or whatever, one person does it all, who knows? But then there has to be a person, a quality control person checking all of this, right? I mean, we've talked about this with past influencers, that how did your items go out faulty if there was a quality control person checking all of this? So you would think that there would be somebody that was doing the same thing with these mystery boxes. So I guess I'm confused that the person that is in charge of this is the person you just hired in the last month or two, somebody that you don't know, that you haven't worked with for a long time. You would give them the responsibility of doing the final check of the mystery boxes. I struggle with that. Like, I don't know why you would put that person in that position. And then, if that is the person that you put in that position and they weren't trustworthy and they did do this stuff behind there, I would think that the person that hired them and the person that was in control of managing them, that person probably needed to be let go too, okay? Because this isn't just, you know, and a lot of people are saying, well, ultimately, isn't it your responsibility, Jeffree, to make sure that these boxes went out the same way? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. So that's point number one for me. I don't know why you would put somebody that you didn't really know in that position. That's confusing to me. Number two, what I don't understand about this, and I think is interesting, I will say, when you kind of look beyond the fact, is that a lot of people were saying to him, I can't believe that you fired somebody on Christmas Eve. Like, why would you do that to somebody? You're letting somebody go that has a family to feed on Christmas Eve, toys, blah, blah, blah. There were a lot of people that were saying that, right? Okay, so maybe Jeffree Star is just informing the world that this is what he did because he wants everybody to know, listen, you complained about it, I took care of it, here it is. Or is he maybe saying, and I'm just speculating, my conspiracy speculations, did he say, don't complain again because this is what happens. I fire somebody on Christmas Eve when y'all complain too much. Could be, okay? That the next time people are quick to complain about the mystery boxes, maybe they won't because they don't want somebody to get fired over it. Then you're humanizing the response, and it's very smart if that's what was done. It's truly, truly a PR move if that's what was done. I just don't understand why you couldn't have come out on Christmas Eve and said, hey, listen, we've taken care of this. Because he did say that they're going to refund people. I think it's $20. We're going to refund people for the mystery boxes. I mean, at this point, Jeffree Star has lost so much money over these mystery boxes, number one. Number two, I mean, the mini box, he refunded, I think, full refund for those. And then the other boxes, he's refunding those people. He's lost so much money over these mystery boxes. And then on top of that, you know, it's all this kind of stuff. But, you know, the thing is that people were saying, like, why can't you, you know, go in here and, like, why can't you just refund them the full amount or send them the product? Well, the product has to be made. He came out and said that when he talked about reproducing the peppermint highlighter, and he said, I mean, this will be like in the spring, I think he said March, because, or maybe it was the re-release of the Shane Dawson that will be in March, I don't know, but he said in the spring it'll be a couple months because we have to manufacture it. So there are no units left to send to other people, right? I don't know, it's kind of a really messed up situation, but I will say this, and I've seen some other videos that are talking about this. Jeffree Star Cosmetics is being hit literally from here. And, you know, it's very interesting to me when you look at that from a business point of view. It's like, okay, I think this is the time that you need to sit down and have, maybe they have, I don't know, a massive meeting and say, before we put one more product out, because so many people are complaining about the customer service of Jeffree Star Cosmetics and Killer Merch, that before we put one more product out, we have got to make sure that all of this, okay, is taken care of. Because for me, and this is just my opinion, okay, for me, getting in Snapchats, getting in Instagrams, putting tweets out is just, it's not enough. Like, it's fine, you're band-aiding the situation, but you're not really going in and fixing everything that's going on until the next thing occurs, and then you come out with another Snapchat. And what's gonna eventually happen is, it's not gonna be tons, but people are gonna get real tired of this and spending their money on it. Now, I do want to say one thing. I got a lot of comments on the last video that I talked about this, and people were like, and I'm going to read a couple of them in a second, because I think some people brought up valid points. People were like, well, you know, Shane addressed it on Instagram, Jeffree addressed it in a Snapchat, you know, Jeffree addressed it on Twitter. Okay, well, what about mom and dad that are sitting at home, or grandma, or whoever, Aunt Judy, that spent a lot of money on this stuff, and they don't have Instagram, and they don't follow them on Instagram, and they don't have Twitter, and they don't follow them on Twitter, and they don't even watch their YouTube videos, okay? So, you know, yes, emails have been put out, but emails have been put out saying the last shipping date would be such and such date, and people still haven't gotten a confirmation code, because I have that when you go through these feeds. So I'm gonna read a couple of the comments that I got for you. Hold on, let me pull this up here. A couple of the comments that I got, somebody said, Peter, actually, Jeffree Star addressed the shipping issues 2 days ago through Snapchat, which he did, okay, which he did, and I think that's great. But at the same time, I mean, at this point, I think Jeffree maybe should put out a video and say, I want to address all the concerns. This is what we're doing going forward, and this is why. But he doesn't want to do that probably because, I don't know, maybe it doesn't look good for his brand on his channel. It doesn't go along with his channel. But at this point, there are so many different issues. It's not just one issue. It's a combination of issues. You know, when you talk about the alleged hairs that were in the palette and the problems with the lip balms and, you know, the conspiracy palette. I mean, I got sent a lot of pictures of people that their pans were upside down, you know, and there were so many issues with that and people like not being able to get on the website, and that has been addressed. Each incident has been addressed. But it's kind of to some degree like these apology videos that are popping up. It's like apology video here, apology video there. I mean, it's like, okay, maybe you just need to go in collectively and address all of it at once and say, as a business owner, this is what I'm going to do going forward. You know, I mean, I actually think it would work in his favor because he really like kind of, you know, panders to his fans anyway to say, I love you guys. I want you to know I'm on top of this. This is what I'm doing. There will be no more Morphe store openings. There will be no more products coming out. There will be no more traveling for Jeffree Star and Entourage until we get all of these things fixed with Jeffree Star Cosmetics, because we want you guys to be the happiest that you possibly can be with your products. So anyway, somebody else said Jeffree Star did a video response the other day on Snapchat, and instead he walked through the shipping, and it honestly didn't seem like hundreds of employees. Then he mentioned having to be cautious in hiring people because they must be trusted after the theft. I understand, but every employer hired extra help for the holidays. That is retail. Peter, I don't have a copy of the video, but maybe someone else does. I know other videos, other drama channels have those in there. Somebody said in here, oh, this was a side issue, but I do want to talk about this in here. Apparently, in Trisha Paytas' podcast, Jeffree Star addressed the fan that he called entitled. He said that he had addressed her behind the scenes. I don't know anything about that, but if he did, I think that's fantastic. Thank you for addressing that. I think because you did it publicly, you should also address it publicly, but that's just my 2 cents. Okay. And these are the things that we would hold everybody else to the same accountability. Somebody else said, not making excuses for the shipping issues, and Jeffree Star addressed it on Snapchat stories, and he's refunding those who hadn't received the peppermint highlighter, and the people who made a mistake have been let go. And then somebody else said, with the cancel culture so strong, Jeffree really needs to be mindful of how he presents himself and handles his business. I'm really happy for his success, but it can all be gone overnight. Happy Christmas Eve. Somebody said, happy Christmas Eve to you too. 3 days ago. Okay, and so anyway, that was all of that. And then I wanted to go in here because what was interesting about this was that was 3 days ago that Jeffree Star tweeted that out. Then if you go up here, hold on a second. He tweeted out the highlighter. Okay, he tweeted out a copy of somebody's, a picture that they had taken of their highlighter. And the comments underneath here just are very, very interesting. Somebody said, I wish I had the palette instead of the money back. Why couldn't you just have sent the palette to the people who bought it and didn't get it? Somebody responded and said, because he only so many were made and 1,000 were stolen. Somebody said, oh, did I miss the tea on this? I didn't hear they were stolen. What is the tea? I know he said someone got fired. That sucks really bad, but he wasn't clear about what happens. And somebody else said he didn't write out say it, but it was implied when he talked about it. He might not be able to outright say anything about it legally, but that doesn't mean we can't read between the lines in his words. Maybe we will get the full cup of tea later though. And then somebody said, okay, gotcha. Well, now I feel better about the firing. I thought it was a mistake, maybe a multiple mistake. And though it's fixable, I didn't see Jeffree Star the type to ruin an ex. Okay, well, then you would have waited. I mean, nobody was working on Christmas anyway. I think that's quite obvious that nobody was working on Christmas by the fact that people weren't getting their orders, okay? And so to have to go in on Christmas Eve and fire somebody, I mean, and I don't know. And like, listen, if this person was somebody that was stealing items and all that kind of stuff, then yes, I think that that's completely, like, that needs to happen, right? Like, in any situation that needs to happen immediately, right? So, and then people go in here and they say a bunch of other stuff. Somebody said, I wish this was made a permanent item to buy. And somebody said, unfortunately, people told him not to and told him to off himself pretty harsh. That was the comment that I was addressing earlier. I really struggled finding those comments. So if they're there, I don't know of them. And the people go in here and said, so sad I didn't get mine in my deluxe package, got my refund, but the whole reason was I got it for the peppermint frost. Somebody said, at least you got the box. My order didn't go through properly. By the time I realized it was too late. And so it just goes on, and people have all, there's a lot of positive comments in there too. People really like thanking him and posting pictures of the highlighter and things like that. My inbox on Twitter has been inundated with people commenting, and I have to say, it's not so much about the deluxe boxes as it is the Shane merch, which Shane came out and addressed, and you know, and I said in my video, I don't really feel like it's Shane's responsibility. I feel like it's Jeffree Star's responsibility, of which he came out and, you know, kind of took care of the situation to some degree, you know, and kind of addressed it. But anyway, so I went in here and I noticed that when I went into my Instagram messages, I started getting tagged in all of these killer merch pictures, and I was like, what is going on? So killer merch, and you can literally go into any of their pictures from like the last week, and there are tons of comments underneath there from people. And this is for the Smiley hoodie, and somebody said, still waiting on my Shane hoodie to ship. And then somebody else said, same, I got a Christmas sweater and joggers and still no shipment email. They said the pre-orders would ship no later than today. So annoyed. Somebody said, have either of you gotten a confirmation as of the 24th? I haven't gotten one. I think the last date was supposed to be the 20th. I don't swear on that, but I'm pretty sure that I heard that all shipping orders were supposed to go out by the 20th per the website. That's what I thought, and I think that that's what they came out and said. Shane made his Instagram story, I'm sorry. Okay, then somebody else said same on another merch ordered 3 weeks ago, no info on shipment and can't get a hold of customer service. Please help. What is up with this company? Somebody said, I know I've ordered from Killer Merch before with no problems, but I've been waiting for an actual month for my items to ship and no word even though they guaranteed arrival by Christmas. I'm so upset. And somebody else says package hasn't shipped yet. An update for customers would be nice. Somebody else said this is just one comment after another. Place my order for a conspiracy shirt for my daughter for Christmas on the 6th. No shipping info yet. Guess I'll have to explain to my 11-year-old on the 25th. Annoyed AF. Somebody else said, I haven't got a shipping notification or reply email for the Shane merch ordered from 11/29 that my boyfriend got me for Christmas, but told me early due to it not going to arrive in time. Disappointed. Somebody else said, so should shipping be expected at least by tomorrow? I think as customers have been more than patient. It's approaching a month since I paid $85 for a hoodie and a tumbler. Yes, I want my merchandise and we understand there being a large order volume, but someone needs to send out an update email or at least acknowledge the customer concerns. Pre-order announcements on items state no later than December 25th. Okay, and then 20th, and it's 2 days later. I think we deserve an update. Now, if you go in there to the picture that was posted 51 minutes ago, I don't see any comments on here. In fact, it looks like their comments are turned off, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. The previous day, hold on a second. This was from 1 day ago. They posted a picture of these like high tops. And somebody said, regarding Shane Dawson order, and this was 4 hours ago, just gonna leave this here since I'll never get any actual help. You guys have my package now sitting for days on end, just waiting to be shipped, quote. Considering you guys missed the deadline that was promised for shipment, the least you could do for the unlucky ones is an expedited shipping so we get our merch at a somewhat reasonable time frame. Now I have to wait an additional 2 to 3 weeks possibly. This was a Christmas gift for my daughter that was ordered a month ago. Completely unacceptable. Never ever will I purchase anything from Killer Merch again. Somebody else said, yes ma'am, please read my post I put in the previous picture. Somebody else said, I hope you read this message because I have reached out to you so many times regarding my Shane Dawson launch order from 11/28 or 29. I spent $155 for myself and my daughter to have Shane's gifts under our tree. Boy, was I deceived. Now close to 1 month later, I still with nothing. She goes on and on and on. There are 12 responses underneath here. Every single one of them is somebody complaining about this. Girl, I'm right there with you. Jeffree Star made a small sticker slip up and made it all right. And the few who didn't get one thing in a box, he made right. And Killer Merch is just gonna it goes on and on and on, saying that they didn't get the presents. Okay, another person, the time promised, unlike Killer Merch, he admitted his mistakes, talking about Jeffree and Shane. But the fact that Killer Merch just is hoping that we are going to sit here and just hope our orders arrive eventually and not make a fuss, well, that time is over. So anyway, what do you guys think about all of that? It's interesting, right? It's like, you have a Shane merch issue, which, like, and I said this in my last video, and I'm gonna say it again, a huge part of the series was Shane in the bathroom, okay? Being like, I have never been treated fairly when it comes to merch. And Jeffree saying, you have never been treated fairly. And everybody was like, this was Shane's moment, okay? That Shane could actually feel like he was worthy and deserving of it. To then go with Killer Merch and have Killer Merch, his selling of all of this, be, quite frankly, in the 3 years that I have been doing drama on YouTube, one of the biggest fiascos with merch that I have ever seen, okay? Next to James Charles withdrawing his merchandise no matter what the issue, I'm sure he's happy about it now from Killer Merch because of his differences with Jeffree Star, okay? So, like, this is a huge, huge issue. I do understand that there were tons and tons of orders. I mean, I think people want to be understanding and things like that. But this is simple as to say, like, hey, listen, we're going to send you an extra gift because you had to wait, or we're going to send you off a $20, gift code for next time or whatever. We're really sorry that you didn't get your items for Christmas, and email something. I mean, people are really, really upset about this, and here's the thing, okay? I understand that they all want to come on, like I said, on Snapchat and Instagram and all this kind of, and Twitter, but like, that ain't cutting it, okay? And that is what people that are social media influencers do. That is not what people that are CEOs of companies do, period, end of story, okay? It's like, if there was some huge recall on something on your car and you were expected to go to like Ford Twitter to see that, and if it wasn't, you're like, well, I guess my wheels just fell off my car. I didn't know because I didn't read Ford's Twitter. Like, no, like that's bad business. It's bad business. And I really feel for these people that didn't get their things. I really, really do. And in all honesty, I have a hard time sitting here and watching like all of this greatness go on and trips and all this kind of stuff happening. And, we're so happy about this. And I wish everybody all the happiness in the world. I do. But when people have spent their hard-earned money and their child literally has nothing for Christmas because they spent all of their money on this, and it's like they don't even get a response from customer service, I would hire 500 people to be sitting in there and make sure that every person that had ever called had a complaint was answered within a timely fashion, period. If I had to be on there calling people myself, that is what I would do. So it's frustrating, Like, I understand why people are upset about that. I really, really do. Now Christmas is over, so I guess you call it a New Year hoodie. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.